check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday. Every Monday, we're live with you right here on YouTube, hanging out, talking about the most important thing in the whole wide world, which, of course, is going on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Thank you for joining us here. Appreciate you being here. We're here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions, including how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise. Type your countdown in chat. Let's count down together. I've got 50-something days, less than 2 months, till we go on the Allure of the Seas 6-night cruise out of Fort Lauderdale. Excited for that one. And not just because it's just me and my wife and we're leaving the kids with the grandparents. It's just a great trip. I've not been on Allure in quite a long time. We also had a super chat before we got started here. Thank you, Kayla Jones, for the super chat. Kayla wrote, thanks for saving us money on our first cruise on Oasis of the Seas in 98 days. If you worked at Royal Caribbean, what ship would you work on and what would you do? I've gotten this question before, but what would I do if I ever worked for Royal Caribbean? And I have no idea, especially not ship side. If I was going to pick a ship, I definitely, but I want to be on the newest ship. Initially, I would think Wonder or Odyssey of the Seas. Maybe I want to be like on Brilliance, a little chiller vibe, you know? As to what I would do on board, boy, I have no clue. I guess I would food and beverage quality assurance. So it'd be my job to sample all the food and give it either thumbs up or thumbs up. I guess that's what I'd pick. Thank you, Kayla, for the super chat. I appreciate you. And we have an epic super chat coming in here from Josh Carruthers. Woo! Thank you, Josh. Good evening. I'll get this out of the way now. When is the next Premium Live Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise event? Premium Live group cruise event? Great question. We do have a new group cruise coming up in December on Wonder of the Seas, which I cannot wait for. That'll be on Wonder of the Seas December 18th, 6-night cruise out of Port Canaveral. Very excited to sail with not only you, Josh, but of course, many of our friends. Looking forward to that. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome, dude. Thank you again, Josh, for your generosity. I appreciate it. All right, we're here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions. So please type your questions in chat. Starting with a question from Eduardo. Saw the last cruise was on Mariner. What were your favorite parts and some tips? We'll be doing Perfect Day Labadee, September 19th. It's a great itinerary. First of all, that itinerary is like something I love about that off the bat. So I don't know why Alf is extremely small. I'll have to look at that later on. But anyway, favorite parts of Mariner of the Seas. I love the promenade, the fact that there's a bamboo room, playmakers, the pub, all within about 10 steps of each other. I love what they've done with the promenade on Mariner of the Seas. I love Sail Away on the helipad, and I really enjoy the Peekaboo Bridge, one of the few ships that has that, where you can actually go to the front and actually look into the bridge, see what's going on there, which is kind of a neat idea. Let's see here. Next question is from Camille. Camille, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for referring MEI Travel. We're booking our group for my parents' 50th anniversary next year. Travel agents are amazing. That is so good. Thank you for supporting our sponsor. And your last sentence there is absolute facts. Travel agents are amazing. The good ones are just incredible. Really, really nice. Hey, Fred Parker in the house. Please discuss the new information about testing, and don't say what and see what they say this week. What we'll see, what they'll say this week. Honestly, Fred, literally nothing has changed from what I knew in Friday's video to today. They're going to release new information on later at some point this week. They said the week of August 1st, so it could be, it's not going to be today, obviously. So it's either going to be tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, who knows? But essentially, they're going, if the testing, we actually have a pretty good idea about, Fred. If you're on a cruise 5 nights or shorter and you're fully vaccinated, you won't have to test anymore. It'd be a recommendation that you do so, but not a requirement. Unvaccinated would have to still do a test for that cruise. If you're on a longer sailing, Fred, and you're vaccinated, a 6-night or longer, then you still need to do a COVID test. So the only real change is if you're vaccinated and going on a cruise less than 6 nights out of the U.S., then that'll be the policy change there. Again, more details coming up later this week there. So Brad has a drink package question. I love drink questions. What is included if I don't buy a drink package? So you've got water, tea, coffee, juices in the morning, hot chocolate, flavored waters, and milk is included there. So hope that answers that question for you. Let's see here. Next question. What travel insurance do I use? Jeff Wilson wants to know. I use Allianz Travel, but Jeff, it's important to always compare and contrast. Travel insurance is like car insurance. Like car insurance are not all the same, right? There's different policies, different coverages. Same is true for for travel insurance. So we have some super chats coming in. My goodness, you guys are super generous today. Thank you so much. Mom and Me Beauty, thank you for the super chat. 4 more days, Symphony of the Seas. 2 questions. Number 1, do we need a lunch reservation at Cocoa Beach Club? Yes. When you get in there, they'll usually almost ask you immediately when you first walk into the beach club, hey, go make a reservation. So yeah, make a reservation once you get to the beach club. If they don't tell you to do so, go there immediately and make one. Number 2, can we bring Starbucks into the club? You're generally not allowed to take food or drink off the cruise ship. So the answer is if you got drink on like coffee on board the ship, you want to bring it on there, I'd be prepared to jettison it. If they see it, they'll ask you to throw it away before you get off the ship. I know that's definitely a rule in like if you're in Cozumel. I still think that's the policy in Coco Key, but yeah, so probably not on number 2. Thank you, Mom and Me Beauty, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Jose Crespo says, I heard that Starbucks is now included with the drink package. Sort of, Jose. So again, this is a good question. Basically, Cafe Promenade is upgrading its coffee drinks to include Starbucks brewed coffees. So if you get a Starbucks beverage or a macchiato, a latte at Cafe Promenade, like always, that's included with the drink package. The actual Starbucks kiosks are not included. That's not a change. So basically, Jose, the drinks at Cafe Promenade are changing, and those are included in the drink package. That's something, Jose, that I shared when I was on Wonder of the Seas back in March. That was the first ship to have that policy in there. So it's sort of yes, but you still won't be able to go to a Starbucks kiosk and have it included, if that makes sense. Oh, Nancy, you're 100% right about what I love about Mariner of the Seas. Darla, the pub singer, absolutely amazing. She's not on Mariner all the time, but whatever ship she's on, it's definitely worth seeing. No question about it. Biffer wants to know, should I get COVID test now or wait till November? My cruise is in November. I'd wait. I mean, you can wait easily, Biffer. They send it out overnight. You can wait till a month or 2 before your cruise. So I definitely wait. There's really no harm in waiting. It's not like last year when they really backlogged getting them. They're very good about sending them out. So I really wouldn't worry about that too much. Kevin Grace, thank you for the super chat. Does Freedom of the Seas have a suite restaurant? 19 days and counting. It does not. The suite restaurant, Coastal Kitchen, is only available on the Oasis and Quantum class ship. Freedom of the Seas is Freedom class ship, so it doesn't have that. So, but you still have a great time on Freedom of the Seas, and if you're in a suite, even better. Holly has a question for us. Sailing to New England and Canada, do you have to do the ArriveCan app since we have ports in Canada? Yes, you do. Any special testing requirements? Nothing more than usual. What's currently available today. So no changes there. Obviously, Holly, if Royal Caribbean were to drop the testing requirements in the U.S., you might, we don't know the details yet, but you might still have to test for your cruise because you're going to Canada. Again, more details about that as we get closer to your sailing. Or rather, or when they release that update on testing. So, Aaron Ross, thank you for the super chat. Puerto Rico hotter than Florida in the summer? Not necessarily. A lot of people assume whatever it is in Florida, it must be way hotter in the Caribbean. And the answer is actually not the case. The tropics are pretty much the same temperature year-round. They don't get the temperature swings that we get here in Florida, which is actually the subtropics, if you want to be specific about it, and obviously further north. So the answer is not necessarily. Now, listen, it can get pretty darn hot in Puerto Rico because when you're in Old San Juan, there's not a lot of airflow there because you got all these tall buildings, not relatively speaking, tall buildings that block the airflow. But no, not necessarily. It's pretty much in the 80s year-round in Puerto Rico. Humidity might change. So I don't want to make it seem like it's not hot in Puerto Rico. It'll be plenty warm over there, but not necessarily warmer than Florida, if that makes sense. Next question is from Jason Peterson. I should say she's saying hello. Hello, Jason. It's good to see you there. DJ Sniper wants to know, does every cruise sell out now, or can you get last-minute deals? Most cruises do sell out. Last-minute deals are not unheard of. It really, Sniper, what it boils down to is you might get a last-minute fare, but that might not be a deal. Like last-minute, you can book last-minute, but it might not be a deal. They're not necessarily exclusive, or the opposite of mutually exclusive. Like just because you're getting a last-minute fare doesn't mean it's a last-minute deal. And cruising is very popular. We just saw this again. I mean, with the Royal Caribbean Group had its earnings call last week. And in the Caribbean, as an example, they were sailing out like at 103% capacity over the quarter, which is basically sold out. So last minute deals, if you're looking for them, they are around. They're usually in other areas. Alaska, if you're looking for a last minute cruise right now, I would say September Alaska cruise. Any cruises in the Mediterranean at any point this year, the European cruise season is a little depressed in terms of demand because of the Ukraine war. So as a result, there's a lot more last minute deals you can find over there. But you're talking about those kinds of markets as opposed to the Caribbean. If you're looking for the summer or fall, it's a little less, it's a little more slim pickings or less slim pickings. I'm not sure how that works. So hope that makes sense. Jeff Bass, thank you for the super chat. My wife and 2 other couples are going on our first Royal Caribbean cruise September on Symphony of the Seas. Any must-dos unique to the ship? The shows and the dining, Jeff. You want to see all the shows. The shows are the most unique thing that you can only find on Symphony of the Seas, like flights, like the shows in the Aqua Theater, in Studio B, the ice skating rink. Those are the most unique things on there. You've got certain restaurants that are unique or less common. Let's put it that way, right? Whether that's Wonderland, whether that's Hooked, you've got some dining options that truly stand out. I would say something else that kind of stands out special. The only ship that has it on Symphony of the Seas is the Big Wonder in the Solarium. It's this art installation that's part of the Solarium bar. It's really pretty. Go there at night. I think you'll like that quite a bit as well. Next question is from Sharon Stockman. Woo! It is a slap your grandma. It's that good of a super chat, but please don't slap your grandma. Received the coupon this morning for a free casino cruise on Symphony of the Seas, December 3rd. Balcony room. Thinking about it. The only problem is flights are so expensive. Sharon, even if the flight is like $200 each way, you're still ahead of the game. You got a free cruise. You got to do that, Sharon. I might say, with airfare, there's a bit of a game into pricing. That time of year, December 3rd, not exactly the most in-demand time to go on vacation. You might try waiting out airfares a little bit more, but my goodness, free balcony room on Symphony, that is a YOLO book it situation right there, Sharon. You got to do that. I mean, that's like, it's going to cost you more money to stay at home, and that includes airfare. YOLO book it, Sharon. You deserve it. Satfig has got a question for us. We're going to Symphony of the Seas and to the Western Caribbean. We've heard about hurricane season. Do we have anything to worry about? Worry? No. Obviously, with hurricane season, there's a possibility that a hurricane could be in the Caribbean, and it could alter your itinerary. Number one, your cruise ship is not going into the hurricane. If there was a storm that was in the way of your ship, you're going to go somewhere else. Royal Caribbean will change your itinerary. It may change your order of ports, or both. But the bottom line is you're not going anywhere near there. So I wouldn't worry in the sense of like, oh, goodness, we're going to go on a cruise ship during hurricane season and we're going to go through a hurricane. No, that's not the case at all. It's unlikely that a storm will form and be exactly in the path of your particular sailing. But even if one does, Royal Caribbean changes the itinerary, so the ships are never near there. So it's a good question. Michael, thank you for the super chat. In group bookings, can you do different types of rooms? Oh, yes. No, that's totally fine. Yeah. The pros of going as a group is simply, Michael, whoever forms the group can get money back, value from everyone else that booked the group. And on top of that, you can also do special things like rent out venues through the group's department. But you don't have to book the same type of room. It really doesn't matter what kind of categories you all book. So not to worry at all. NYC Lover for Life wants to know, was there any mention of the additional Starlink installation on other ships on the quarterly call? There was not. That kind of stuff, unfortunately, is just too deep in the weeds for what they're doing on the earnings call. Remember, the earnings call is really just revenue and costs. That's all they care about on that call. They're just talking about, anything else beyond that is purely anecdotal, but they're basically just looking at how are we selling and how much are we spending, and will the money we're spending be outweighed by the money we're bringing in, right? They don't really go to Starlink, would be a little too much in the weeds over there. So no updates to share on that, my friend. Our martinis included the drink package. If you get the ultimate drink, the deluxe beverage package, yes, it is, Lori. Yes, it is. Chris wants to know, will Royal Caribbean accept a rapid PCR or rapid antigen test from a pharmacy? Yes. If you're fully vaccinated, yes. For kids that are under 12, they must do the PCR test. But if you're a fully vaccinated adult, then yeah, the rapid antigen test or rapid PCR is fine. And I would recommend the rapid antigen test. Let's see here. We've got an email from Mark, who's joining us from work. Just received the Royal Up email. Thoughts on an upgrade to a suite to an ocean view balcony? Do you recommend it or something else? Just have to understand, Mark, just because you got the email doesn't actually mean there's an upgrade opportunity. But hey, listen, at the end of the day, depending on how much more it is to roll the dice and try it out, sure, why not? But just understand that there may not actually be an upgrade opportunity, and be okay with not being able to pick your room location. If you're okay with both those things, sure, why not? CMT Beat Drops, thank you for the super chat. Have been able to tune in one of your streams in almost forever. Feels good to be back. Welcome back. What is your favorite Royal Caribbean itinerary? I like the one we talked about just a minute ago with whoever's doing the Mariner. I love the ones that go to both Perfect Day and Coco Key in the same itinerary. I love that itinerary. Susan Westfall, welcome home, Susan. It was good to cruise with you on the aforementioned Mariner of the Seas. Thank you for the super chat. Took your advice, bought annual insurance policy covering our next 5 cruises at a great price. Thanks again for the great group cruises. Pleasure sailing with you. And I got to tell you, the travel, the annual insurance policy is definitely a great money saver if you cruise enough in time. I would say if you cruise at least probably 3 times in a year, it definitely can make it worthwhile. So glad it worked out for you there. Eric, thank you for the super chat as well. I'm a cigar enthusiast. Where are the place on Harmony you can enjoy a cigar? There are 2 places you can smoke. The first, since you want outdoor, would be up on the pool deck. On the port side, you'll see special seating for smokers over there. And the other one would be in the casino. How's the onboard cigar selection? I don't think it's anything special. My recommendation is you bring with you whatever cigars you're looking to smoke. I'm not a cigar smoker, so I can't tell you the brands or anything like that, but in all my days, I don't think anyone's ever been wowed by it. It's more of like a backup. I would say that if you're a serious cigar smoker, you probably want to bring your own stash. Virginia wants to know, is a rapid antigen test done at urgent care acceptable 2 days before sailing? Yes, that's totally fine because it's administered. Totally fine. No worries at all. It's the Biffer. What a great name. Is the booster shot required or is 2 sufficient to board the ship? For almost every itinerary, 2 is sufficient to board the ship, Biffer. There are some European itineraries. I know cruises out of Italy require it. The booster, that is. But if it's been more than 270 days since your last cruise, but if you're cruising out of North America, the 2 is totally fine. Lavender Lady 12, great name. Thank you for the super chat. Hippo character runs at high speed, his legs forming a ball-like blur. Love it. Thank you so much. People, holy moly. I've got to catch up on the super chats, guys. Aaron Ross, thank you for the super chat. Is the group rate usually cheaper for your cruises? Sometimes it is. It really depends on the sailing and when you book. What's great about the group rates, Aaron, is that they're frozen in time. So if the price is the same today, but you wait a month or 2, it may end up being cheaper. So it can only save you money. It can't possibly cost you any more. Let's put it that way, Aaron. Not to mention the added benefits by booking through MEI Travel for our group cruises, their special events and whatnot. Susan Dodd is going on have a 4 and 3 nights, 4, 3, and 7 night back-to-back on Navigator. How do you transition? How do you test for 7 nights if already on board? You don't have to test, Susan. Royal Caribbean dropped if you're doing back-to-back cruises, you no longer have to do a COVID test. They dropped that requirement a month or 2 ago now at this point. So basically, at the end of each cruise, you'll get a letter in your stateroom where to go at the end of the sailing, like that morning, where to go and what time. It's really easy. They take care of the whole thing for you. Let's see. Next, we have another super chat coming in from CMT Beats. Do you know when Royal Caribbean will get rid of testing? They've already announced. We posted about this last week and we did a YouTube video about it on Friday. They're going to drop testing for fully vaccinated people on short cruises beginning August 8th. We'll have more details about it at Royal Caribbean blog later this week. They haven't announced more details on that. As for like other sailings, Royal Caribbean said that they're going to evaluate it, and it may be another about 45 days or so before they reevaluate it again, see how it's working or not. So undetermined at that point. Also, is Icon going to be bigger than Oasis? It looks like it is. It's not 100%, but it definitely looks like it is. We have a spammer in the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on a second. Thank you, Steve Cohen. I know we have some folks in the chat. We have some moderators here. Maybe they already got it. But please, if you see a spammer, please report them. You just click on their comment. There's a way to report it to eBay. eBay doesn't really care. Somebody already got it. Thank you. Wait, did we get it? Hold on. I found him. I found them. Oh, somebody else already got them. Thank you, moderators. We have a big shout out to the moderators out there for doing a great job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here. What's my favorite adult beverage? Lava Flow with Kraken rum. Absolutely love that. Lulu Smash, thank you for the super chat. 27 days till Oasis. Would I be able to snorkel on my own Coca Key if I bring my own gear? Yes, absolutely. No problem at all. Thank you for your generosity. I appreciate you. Let's see. $1,300 for your flights? Where do I live in Alabama? Sharon, could you like drive to Atlanta and pick up a different flight? I mean, that's crazy price. No way. 1,300? I mean, can you get here's what I would say. Number 1, drive to a different airport near you. Number 2, fly to a different place. So if Symphony's going out of Miami, fly to Fort Lauderdale, fly to Orlando. I mean, you could save a lot of money with a rental car. I would definitely look at that as an option. That's crazy. I mean, I would definitely hold off on that. I would book the cruise and play the airfare game. Bill wants to know thoughts on COVID test from Optum. Your thoughts versus EMED. They're both the same tests. I mean, it's just I get it from EMED because I just started getting from EMED. They're just easy because I already have my account on there. They ship quickly. I've had nothing but great experience with EMED, so I prefer EMED. I have no problems with Optum, and I wouldn't. The nice thing about Optum is I believe they sell tests in smaller quantities. But since I got a family of 4, a 6-pack is pretty much the de facto order from us anyway. So. Mark Wilson wants to know, will Royal Caribbean be keeping Navigator of the Seas in Los Angeles beyond 2024, or are they going to leave California in 24? Don't know. They haven't released those itineraries, and I'm not privy to that information. I think they'll keep a ship there, but who knows, my friend? We just simply have no idea, Mark. They haven't released that kind of information. We have a super chat coming in from Lavender Lady again. Thank you, Lavender Lady, for your super chat. Does the Keeper have a separate line for check-in at Port Canaveral? It does. Depending on the terminal, you will either be combined with the suites or you have your own line. But yes, you do get priority access in there. So the answer is yes to that one. Next question. Motunga Legends with an epic super chat. Woo! Thanks, Matt, for helping my wife and I with all your tips. We had an amazing time on Mariner. My wife was ecstatic to see you on board. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you and your wife on board. It was great. We had so much fun on that cruise. Amazing sailing, amazing weather, great itinerary. I mean, we just had good friends. And it was really one of my favorite cruises I've taken in quite a while. I really, really had a nice time on there. So glad to have met you. And more importantly, thank you again for your generosity, my friend. Wow. Thank you. Allison wants to know, have I ever been in an ultra spacious ocean view room? And if so, what did I think about it? I have been in there. It's really nice, especially with the kids. Look, when I got kids, Allison, every square foot helps. So if it's like 2 people in a room, I think you're just overpaying for space. If you've got a family of 4, then having that extra space can really make a big difference. So, that's how I would break that down there. Stacy wants to know, are we able to currently make reservations for unvaccinated people? No, not yet, Stacy. We're still waiting for what the details will be. They'll be released sometime this week. Obviously not today. So sometime between tomorrow and Friday, I'm going to guess. So next question is, we got a super chat coming in from Josie. Josie, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you, but I'll keep an eye out for it in case you do post it there. But thank you for the super chat nonetheless. I really appreciate you. Tony G wants to know, do you think Royal Caribbean might bring back the ability to book entertainment and dining pre-cruise? I certainly hope so. Gosh, that would be great. I hope they do. I just don't know why they haven't brought it up there. So we'll have to see on that one. Richard Simpson, thank you for the super chat. First time live. Welcome. Going on Oasis, and our itinerary just changed. Recommendation for Falmouth, Labadee, and Nassau. If I have not... Falmouth, I have yet to find something I like. If I was going to go tomorrow, Richard, I'd look up the Hilton Rose Hall Resort. They used to have a day pass there. I don't know if they still offer one, but I would go there as see if they still have it. Labadee, if there's a cabana, I'd go to Labadee. Nassau, if you want to have a beach day. Oh, you know what I like in Nassau? Well, if you want a beach day, I go book through Royal Caribbean. I book the, what's it called? Blue Lagoon, the island, the private island thing. Otherwise, if you're looking for a day pass, resortforaday.com has a lot of great options in Nassau. So one of those is where I would go in that regard. Thank you very much for your generosity. I appreciate you. Gene wants to know, would you cruise on Odyssey of the Seas again? Yep, because I'm already booked on her. I'm going on Odyssey of the Seas in November for Thanksgiving. So the answer is absolutely yes. Brian, one of my thoughts on Nachi Kokum for a laid-back 50-ish couple. I think it's fantastic for you. It's the one downside with it is honestly just they don't have anything for kids to do there. So I think you're right in their wheelhouse for that one, my friend. I think you'll like it quite a bit. Betty Eakin, thank you for the super chat. Woo! Thank you. What is the chance Quantum is fixed by September? Pretty good. I mean, listen, I don't know more than you do, Betty, but the plan is to repair it in August. So I'd say I would say that you have a fighting chance at it. Let's put it that way. Obviously, I can't promise you anything, but we will see. Wemmy says, I heard that children under 12 require a PCR test. Correct. My 9-year-old is fully vaccinated. Does she need to still be PCR? No, she does not. So my apologies, Wemmy. I didn't mean to confuse you. Under 12 that are unvaccinated. If your kids are vaccinated like mine are, you don't need to do you don't need to do a PCR test. They could do an antigen test alternatively, including the at-home test. So that's a huge benefit for you guys there. Next question is from Iad. I hope I said that right. Thank you for the super chat, Iad. Good evening. So I cruised on Oasis of the Seas July 1 for a 7-day perfect day Florida cruise. It was amazing. I have a question. How good is the Voom internet package? Depends on the ship. If you were on Oasis, I think you'd find it pretty darn good. If you were on Mariner or Brilliance, you'd be like, oh, boy, that's not as good at all. It really depends on the ship. Some ships are better than others. Generally speaking, the Oasis and Quantum class ships are the best internet, and the rest of the fleet is kind of like, eh, and some are like, ooh. But on Oasis, would have been fine. So, next question is we got a question from Aaron. I was testing drop for people who already booked a cruise before they dropped it. Yes, when the policy hasn't come out yet, Aaron. So let's not put the horse in front of the carriage quite yet. But yeah, there would be no difference in that. Marcelo, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Hello from Monterrey, Mexico. Buenos noches or buenos dias or one of those two. Hola, ¿cómo estás, mi amigo? Yo amo tu aquí. Speak. Habla, cruise. Forgot to say with me. Marcelo, good to see you here, buddy. Sorry about my terrible Spanish. Ronnie, thank you for the super chat. Going on 6 nights on Jewel this season, December. What's the best restaurant on Jewel? I like Giovanni's. My daughter would say Chops Grill, but I like Giovanni's. Been on Carnival and Disney cruises once, but my first Royal Caribbean. Any advice? Yeah, I mean, I would say number one, Ronnie, you want to look up what's available to do on board. You know, Jewel of the Seas is a fine ship. It's a Radiance class ship. She doesn't have all the bells and whistles that, you know, the Oasis or Quantum or Freedom or Voyager class ships have, but she's a great one. If you've been on Disney before, she's very similar in size to the Wonder or the Magic in the Disney fleet. But it's a great ship. It's a fun ship. Great stuff in the Centrum. I love the Schooner Bar. So, you know, enjoy those venues. Spend a lot of time in the Schooner Bar at night. I think you'll like it. Let's see here. Clayton, we don't know the answer to your question yet. I wanted to get this in here. We don't know we'll get hopefully an answer this week. That's when Royal Caribbean promised it. If you go to Royal Caribbean's Healthy Sales Center website, they say guests will be provided will be provided to book guests the week of August 1st, 2022. So we'll have more information later this week. And big shout out, guys. Can we get a clap in the chat for one of our awesome moderators and writers here on RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Chantel got taken care of on Civics Day in Canada. She is in one hand grilling up her barbecue, in the other hand banning spammers. We love the Canadians. Thank you, Chantel, for your help. I really appreciate it. Joe Roberts, welcome. Mark wants to know, is the unlimited package more of a value on larger ships? It's value on any ship. It's just a matter of like how much variety you want to have. You will absolutely save money, Mark, on any ship that has it. The question is like how many times you want to eat at the same restaurant, right? So there's more opportunity on the bigger ships, which have more restaurants. So Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Just to verify, because it isn't mentioned often, can you order multiple appetizers, entrees, and desserts, especially restaurants? Yes, some especially restaurants, like a few of them, like Chops, limit you to one entree. Let me tell you something, Andrew. You're not leaving that restaurant hungry, so don't worry at all. But appetizers, desserts, side dishes, never a limit there. Like Giovanni's, there's no limit on entrees. Sabor, there's no limit on entrees. It's just really Chops that has that one rule there. First class. Okay, got it, Sharon. Yeah, Sharon, I would tell you, I mean, we're going back to Sharon's question about airfare. Listen, Sharon, go look up the price of the cruise. If you were to pay for it, you're still coming out ahead. I would do it. North Florida Wanderers, thank you for the super chat. Can you expand on the recent speed restriction change that affected Adventure of the Season Voyager? Yeah, he says never heard of such a thing before. Neither has anybody. I honestly have no idea. When it came out, they may be in chat. Actually, he is in chat. Commander Don Goldstein, who's retired U.S. Coast Guard. We were talking about, I was like, Don, what is this? No one's heard of it. It's evidently a new protocol. It doesn't make any sense because you have, like, instead of going too slow, like ships can go too slow. I honestly, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I have no idea. So far, I've not found any definitive information as to what this new protocol is and why, like, Adventure of the Seas can do it, but Voyager can't. And it's a head scratcher. And I have no idea. I wish I had a better answer for you, but truly, I've yet to find a good answer for that one. I'm still looking for one to give you guys an update on that. Neil, what's the latest you can book a cruise? You can book a cruise all the way up till about 72 hours before the cruise sails. That's usually the cutoff point there. Jamily, have I ever visited Bimini? I have not. My good friend Billy from cruisehabit.com has. If you go to cruisehabit.com, he has some information on that, but I've never been there yet. Lisa wants to know, do you think it would be worth it to book Paradise Beach in Cozumel in December? Is the beach and pool too cold? No, the pool is heated. I think it's absolutely worthwhile. I've been there many times in December. It's fantastic. Susan Dodd, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Enjoy your broadcast, Susan. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate you. And Kathy Crandall with the super chat, hanging out in the chat with everyone until we book another cruise. Thinking about Serenade in March. Kathy, thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate you. Basically, these live chats serve two purposes, Kathy. One, answer cruise questions. Two, just it's a way to pass the time. It's collective therapy until our next cruise. We also have Angie in the chat who sailed with me on Mariner of the Seas. Angie is one of she's actually our social media manager. We have two social media managers here at Royal Caribbean Blog, and they manage different accounts on both Royal Caribbean Blog and our sister site, Cruise.blog. And Angie was with me on Mariner of the Seas, did a fantastic job on there. Got to meet her mom. Her mom orders a lot of entrees, but she's very, very nice. And Angie, please tell me she's not watching. It was awesome cruising with you, Angie, especially because your sister had extreme FOMO, which made every day interesting. Let's see here. Tony wants to know, is Rhapsody of the Seas being upgraded? So every 5 years, Tony, cruise ships go in for work. It's kind of like 30,000 miles. That's 10,000 miles, whatever it is, for your oil change in your car. Same basic idea. But because they're going in for a dry dock doesn't mean they're actually getting upgraded. So the answer is no. They're not going to be adding like water slides and new features on board. They're just bringing the ship in for maintenance. Latino Flyboy, thank you for the super chat. Sailing on Anthem of the Seas out of New Jersey to celebrate New Year's Eve on board. I'm afraid that the cold temperatures will limit things to do on board. Any thoughts? I've done cruises out of Anthem. I've done cruises out of New Jersey before. The first night can be chilly, but once you get to the afternoon of day 2, when you get down to the Carolinas and whatnot, it'll start warming up quite a bit. Not to mention, a lot of the venues are enclosed. Don't forget, Anthem of the Seas has a fully enclosed pool and adult pool. So it really makes it enjoyable to be outdoors because you're in an enclosed area. So don't worry too much about the weather. You'll have a great time on board. Fantastic. Sharkbait, hoo-ha, wants to know, do junior suites get priority boarding? They do indeed. Sarah, can you eat in the main dining room on a boarding day? You cannot. It's not open for embarkation day. MW says this is a drop testing for 5 days or fewer count for European trips. The answer is we don't know yet. They're going to release the protocols later this week, but they've already said that it's going to be subject to that rule will depend on the ports you're visiting. So if one of the countries you're visiting says, no, you need a COVID test, then that particular itinerary will still require it, if that makes sense. So it depends is the answer that everyone's favorite answer. Pepe, thank you. I have no idea what currency that is. That could be $1,900 or like $1.90. But hey, man, thank you for your generosity. It really doesn't matter how much it is. I appreciate you. Thank you, Pepe, for your super chat. Henry wants to know, is it possible to book interconnecting rooms for 3 in one and 2 in the other? Absolutely. Depends on the room capacity, but if the room can handle it, the answer is yes, Henry. It's less of a question of it's more of a question of the 2 cabins that are connecting, can one of them support 3 passengers if they're rated for that. So, and you'll be able to see that when you go to book their cruise. You'll have that option there. Again, a good travel agent can make that process a lot easier in terms of finding one for you. Let's see here. Next question. We got a lot of super chats coming in. Carrie B, thank you for the super chat. I'm torn between Norwegian Fjords or British Isles on Jewel. Do you have any thoughts on either? I'm going to go with, I'm going to summon my inner Emma Cruises. And my friend Emma Cruises would say, blimey, Matt, I would do Norwegian Fjords because she just did Norwegian Fjords. She said it was amazing. And she's from England and she's seen Britain. And there's just nothing like the Norwegian Fjords. So I say Norwegian Fjords every day. Good tea, nice house. Thank you for the super chat. Finally hit diamond. Congratulations. And to celebrate, we booked a Crown Loft Suite on Symphonies. The drink package worth it, given all the perks of the status in the room. I think it still is. And the reason is because the free drinks you get for being a suite guest are relegated to the evening hours in the suite lounge. What if you're in the pool deck? What if you're in the theater? What if you're in the schooner bar? I would still get the drink package personally, but you know. Thank you, Tony G. Going back to the Hilton Rose recommendation for Falmouth. They still have a day pass as I have it booked in December. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you sharing that. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see here. Shauna. So if you watched Friday's video, there's going to be a change in the vaccine mandate. More details have not been released yet, but they should be released later this week. If you haven't seen the video yet, Shauna, watch the video I just posted on Friday, our newest video on the channel, and you'll have more details on that. Amberly, how is cruising during Halloween? Awesome. Bring your costume. If your cruise actually goes over Halloween, there will be costume contests, trick-or-treating. So definitely bring a costume. It's a big party on board. Emily, what beach do I recommend in Labadee? Nellie's Beach is fantastic. Love that quite a bit. Keith, Coco Key, jet ski, yay or nay? I'm not a jet ski guy, so you're probably asking the wrong person on that one, but I would probably say it's worth trying. Sure, why not? Disney cast member Monique, thank you for the super chat. WoW bands be updated on new ship class ships? No, actually, what's interesting is WoW bands never came back after COVID, so they're not available on any ships currently. Thank you for the super chat. Gregory Harris, thank you for the super chat. Long-time lurker, first time catching you chat live. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. So you've already gone on your first cruise, and what would you do on your second cruise? Sitting on a bunch of cruise credit, need ideas. Definitely do a different class of ship. So I don't know if you did like an Oasis class. Like if you did an Oasis class, do Odyssey of the Seas. If you did a Quantum class like Odyssey, then do Wonder of the Seas. Wonder or Odyssey. Pick one of the two. You will love that. Next question is from Bonia. Hope I said that right. Would you know if show bookings will ever be possible before embarkation, and why would Royal Caribbean take this future rates? Great question. Before the pandemic, they had that option on some classes of ships, like the Oasis and Quantum class ships. So the answer is yes, it's possible. But why they took it away, when the cruises first restarted, we just assumed that it was just simpler in the short term. A couple ships up, they weren't there weren't enough, they weren't at full capacity, didn't really seem necessary. So why add one more complication to the process? But now today, I don't know, maybe they want it for consistency reasons. I honestly have no idea, Bonia. It makes no sense, but I hope they bring it back. But in the meantime, it's not there. RXR1031. Can you get sushi at the Zumi Hibachi table in addition to hibachi itself? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Look at the sushi menu there as well. So no problem at all. What is my favorite food at Sabor? Tacos. Man, I'm such a sucker for tacos, man. Fish tacos, like every time. So this is Josie Super Chat for going back earlier. Thank you for posting it here. Want to get the 3-day dining package? Is it a la carte or do they have a set menu? A la carte. I mean, it depends on the restaurant. So if you have a 3-day dining package, you go to Chops, everything's included, just like you pay the cover charge. If you go to Izumi or Playmakers, then you pay for sushi or Playmakers, then you pay a la carte. It just depends on the restaurant there. So Josie, you want to know what specialty restaurants are on Wonder of the Seas? Here's what I want you to do. Go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. In our main menu, it says the link says Wonder of the Seas. It's a full breakdown of everything you need to know about Wonder of the Seas. Check it out over there. So RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, main menu, Wonder of the Seas. That's a really short answer, but it's the answer to your question. Aaron, thank you again for the super chat. Where did you get that cool music for your podcast? Sailing Harmony November, that $400 off a connecting balcony. Will I regret it? Sailing? Why would you? Oh, do you mean like you're going to book a connecting balcony, but you don't actually have the other connecting room? I don't know why you would book that room, quite frankly. It's like, because someone else who's going to want a connecting balcony, you're going to take their space for it. I mean, I get it. If it's like the only room available at $400 less, you won't regret it for that reason. I would just feel bad for another family who wanted to have both rooms there, but that's just me. In terms of the music, it's just I paid for it on audiojungle.net. Paid for it, and I get to use the rights to it. So it's Muzak, basically, but I'm glad you enjoy it. Tony Diaz, thank you for the super chat. December can't get here fast enough. Amen, brother. I think Tony's talking about the Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise on Wonder of the Seas. Jay, thank you for our super meal. You guys' generosity today is amazing. Thank you. Jay, thank you for the super chat. On Odyssey in a grand suite this Sunday from Rome, celebrating my 30th on board. Happy birthday. Present my girlfriend. Hope she's not listening. Thank you for the abundance of information to help me prepare for my first cruise since Oasis in 2009. Dude, have an amazing time. really congratulations. I'm sure it's in the bag, but man, it sounds like an awesome, amazing cruise. Take a lot of photos, Jay. Stop for those onboard photos that they do on the Esplanade every night. Make sure you have lots of memories to remember that cruise for. Next question. We have so many questions for you, as many as I can here. How far in advance will Royal Caribbean announce Coco-Key bookings? They do basically new bookings twice a year, once in November, December, and the other time in the spring. So basically, the next set would be sometime around like Thanksgiving-ish timeline. Kimberly wants to know: is there a decent beach at the port at Costa Maya? At the port, I mean, it's okay. It's fine. I would say your best bet, Kimberly, is to head into town. Go to, well, my favorite place to go to is Maya Chan, but I think the beaches, water-wise, are superior still. If you go to downtown Mahawal, where you can go, like my favorite place is Jamie's at Blue Reef. So maybe go downtown to Mahawal. It's a very short cab ride down there. Let's see here. Sean, is the Johnson & Johnson vaccine accepted for a U.S. port cruise? Absolutely, yes. Next question is from to end. I get it now. In your recent video, 6 cruise ship main dining rooms follow. You mentioned something to go. If you get an entree, how would you heat it up later? You can't. So it's really not for like, hey, I want to take this back to my room and heat it up 4 hours from now. It's more like, I don't want it right now, but I'll want it in like 20 minutes or something like that, maybe an hour, and you're okay with like lukewarm food. But no, you can't heat it up. What they often will offer that to end is like, you're just not feeling it. You had a big lunch, but you're gonna be hungry in an hour kind of scenario. That's what's really good for. So they give you a cover on it, and it keeps it decent. And it's not gonna be piping hot, so I wouldn't recommend it for soup. But for certain foods that can have a bit of a shelf life to them, it might not be a bad idea. Next question is from FLM Family Life Movies. Playmaker boys from Mariner of the Seas. Dude, we saw these guys all the time. And also, not only were you, I saw them the first couple of times, always at Playmakers, always in the same seats. But then I think you guys migrated over to the pub because I think you were there with us quite a bit in the evening to watch Darla. But man, good seeing you guys on board the ship. Glad you said hello. It's always nice when people say hello. Got a chance to meet folks in there. All right, so John Cubero says, regarding the speed restriction, ships have to slow down within a certain mileage of U.S. shores. They have to make up that for an open water. Brilliance is faster than Enchantment. Say to switch. Okay, but what about, and that makes sense. What about Voyager and Adventure? They're both the same Voyager class. They're both the same subset. They're not like Mariner Navigator, which is a different subset of the Voyager class. That one doesn't make any sense. But the first part makes sense, John. So thank you for that. Clayton, you're the second person to bring this up. Does anyone ever tailgate their cruise leaving? So one of my friends, Earl, had this idea, and and at first I was like, that's a great idea. But I think ultimately, if you're going to tailgate, if you have a drink package, wouldn't you be better off getting on board the ship and getting your drink, I guess? I mean, it would really only benefit you if you got there super early in the morning, like 9 o'clock, before you could even get into the terminal. Do that for a couple hours, but then you're going to walk onto the ship kind of like, not loaded, but feeling good. I don't know. I think it's one of those ideas that like practically doesn't make a lot of sense, but it seems like it would be a good idea. I don't know. I mean, the number one reason people pregame or tailgate at sporting events, things like that, is because it costs way much more money for those drinks in the stadium. Whereas for a lot of people, they have drink packages if that's really a concern for them on board. I don't know. It would be an interesting idea, Clayton. Let's put it that way. Where do you go for dinner on embarkation day? You could go to the main dining room. You could go to the Windjammer. You go to a specialty restaurant. Those are all available to you. Excuse me a second. Oh, that was the Chilean peso. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I might be rich or I might not be. Who knows? Let's see here. Dino wants to know, can rooms next to each other be connected through the balcony? Depending on the ship. Some ships, yes. Some ships, no. It really just depends on the vessel. But if they can, absolutely. Next question is from Kyle Foster. Going on first cruise on my honeymoon. Does Royal Caribbean do anything special for you if you pay extra? Well, no, you can't be like, hey, here's a bunch of money. I'm doing my honeymoon. Make it magical. You can purchase room decorations through the cruise planner before your cruise. You can obviously book a spa appointment or especially a restaurant, but those aren't inherently honeymoon stuff. But there isn't like other than the room decorations, there is nothing inherently honeymoonish that you can pay for to get, if that makes sense. Dahlia, hope you're doing well. What's the specific details on what you have to do for COVID testing? Basically, what you want to do is go to Royal Caribbean's website, royalcaribbean.com. Top left corner, you will see a link that says the evolving protocols for U.S. cruises and learn more about current health protocols. Click on that and then find the protocols. There's protocols for booked guests. And then from in there, you can find the protocols for your particular sailing. So it changes all the time, which is why I can't rattle off an answer for you. Carter, thank you for the super chat. Do you know when Allure this is going to the dry dock? She just did one in 2020, so probably not until 2025. And we'll be getting Water Slides the Ultimate Abyss Dry Slide. They haven't announced it if they will be. D Money, thank you for the super chat. Taking my wife on her first cruise, Harmony, 229 days from now. What's one thing she absolutely has to do on board and off? Coco Key. I mean, you could splurge and get a cabana, go to the water park. I think a splurge in Coco Key is worth it. Has to do on board Harmony of the Seas. Oh, see, Columbus the Musical. That is a must-see on board, and that costs nothing extra. So back to the Coast Guard question again. Das, the only thing I've seen about that speed restriction is that that cruise ship speed is a reduction within 40 miles of certain ports. A weird rule. I don't know. Thank you, though. How do you book jet skiing in Coco Key? Through the cruise planner website, royalcaribbean.com. Darren, thank you for the super chat. My 24 Voyager cruise got moved to Adventure. Royal's itinerary is saying the same, but what's different is being sold. Wait, but what's being sold is different one. Does that mean it's changed? Yeah, if you're going from Voyager to Adventure, you're going to a different ship. I mean, they are both a Voyager class ship. Certain amenities are different. In fact, I think Adventure has more to do on board. She has water slides and a couple other amenities I think are superior to Voyager, but they just swapped out ships for you, basically. Larissa wants to know what's the best thing to do in St. Martin. I think you go to the beach. I would recommend Grand Case Beach on the French side. Take a taxi there. A lot of people like doing Larissa. They like going to Maho Beach on the Dutch side because that's the beach where all the airplanes land on top of you. I think it's cool to see like one or two, but it gets like old after that. It's a tourist trap, but it's a fun one. So I think if you want to really spend the day, Grand Case is where I would go. Jillian, right now it looks like Royal Caribbean has said that embarkation testing, pre-cruise testing for vaccinated only on short cruises, 5 nights or less, will be what's going to change beginning August 8th. We're going to get more details later this week. Next question is from Steve. I got a complimentary cruise on Wonder in 26 days through Casino Royale. I've only been on one cruise before. I don't think I spent that much money. Is this normal? Honestly, dude, I have no idea how it works because their program is just wonky. I mean, I'm sure it makes sense to people like Sharon who are there all the time, but like the rewards for like there are weird like random rewards like you got and I've gotten before. My wife gambled more than I did. I don't know, but don't question it. Enjoy it. Congratulations. Free cruise, dude. You're going to love it. Joyce, have you ever cruised on Celebrity Cruise? I have not yet anyway. I'd like to at some point. Next question is from Mr. Waddles. What a great name. Is the Wi-Fi on Wonder worth it? Absolutely. It's great on Wonder of the Seas. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I apologize, but thank you so much for your generosity. Aquaventure Oasis Water Park is sold out. Oh, oh, what? Oh, is that like at Oasis? I mean, Oasis. Is that at Atlantis? Will it be available to book on boarding day? Not necessarily, no. You can certainly check on boarding day. Sometimes there is availability. People cancel all the time. So I would definitely go to the shore excursion desk on day one and inquire again. You got nothing to lose. Ask to be put on a wait list. That's another option for you. But the answer is not necessarily. You can also, in the meantime, keep checking back. You never know. Literally, if someone were to cancel right now, availability would return to it. So keep an eye on it. You never know if it will come back between now and your sailing. Jay, going on taking your wife on her first cruise on Oasis. Anything we should do in Nassau to make it special? Yeah, go to resortforaday.com. Find something that appeals to you. There's a number of them that are there, Jay, and I'd book one of those. Michelle wants to know, when do drink packages normally go on sale? I don't want to pay full price. Well, number one, you will always get a better price for your drink package if you book it before the cruise. The price on board will absolutely cost you more. So that's off the bat. Number two, don't wait for a sale. What you're like timing it is a mistake. I've done a video about this. Don't do that. If you want a drink package, Michelle, book it now, lock in the price. If tomorrow, next week, next month, 6 months from now, the price online is lower than you paid, you can cancel and rebook with no penalty. But the reason why I'm telling you to book it now is sometimes the prices go up. So you guard against a price increase and still able to take advantage of a price decrease by booking it online. Now, let's see here. Next question is from Vin the Ruler. Is there a water fountain or purified water dispenser so I can fill up a water bottle with it? Yes, not a water fountain, but a dispenser. You can't fill it up directly. It's a health problem. But what you can do, Vin, is just take a cup of water that they provide, fill up the cup of water, dump it in your water bottle, keep doing that. That's totally fine. So yes, the answer is yes. Jello has a 100 shelf life. The more you know, from Tony Diaz. Thank you. Do sweets have microwaves? They do not. Is all the food free? No. Some is free, some is not. What is the optimal time to board? I think the earlier to board, the better, if you ask me. So, Davo Man 2000. Are there any other ship vloggers other than Chris Wong? Do you mean crew members? Yes. I know that the Martina. She does like the Curious Lens of Martina or something like that. Jordan, who is or was a ice skater with Royal Caribbean. There are a number of crew members that are out there. So yes, there's more than just Chris Wong. Chris does a good job of being consistent about it, and he has a great production quality, and his approach to it I really like as well, and he's a great friend. But yeah, there are other crew members who do vlogs on board the ship. Best thing to do in St. Kitts? We just did an awesome catamaran excursion. That was fantastic. All right, time for some more super chats. We got to catch up with these. Steven Sherman, thank you for the super chat. What is the best bargain on Harmony of the Seas? Bargain? Sabor. I think it's vastly underrated, especially a restaurant. Really, really good. Gandhi, how many days ahead of the Royal Caribbean cruise will Royal Caribbean accept PCR rapid antigen testing? If you're vaccinated, up to 2 days before the cruise. If your cruise leaves on Thursday, cruise on Saturday. So you can do the test on either Friday or Thursday. Totally fine. Doesn't matter the time of day. Anytime, Thursday or Friday, because your leaves on Saturday. So, yep, fully vaccinated. You're good to go on that one. Another super chat coming in from AD. Taking my sister to Perfect Day in November for her 65th birthday. Her first cruise, our 12th, and our recommendations to give her that wow factor. Perfect Day, get a cabana. Get a cabana. You'll spoil her off the bat. So, yep. Juliana, thank you for the super chat. Don't know what to do at Costa Maya. If it's available, they're doing a refurb right now, but I would recommend Maya Chan. It's not the Royal Caribbean, Juliana, but if you Google Maya Chan, it is my favorite of any place, all inclusive. They treat you like a celebrity over there. You're gonna love it. Maya Chan. If they are closed, because right now they're closed for the summer, they're doing some work. Then my backup option would be Blue Reef at Jamie's at Blue Reef. Again, not through Royal Caribbean. You got to book it on your own, but they're both all-inclusives kind of places. Really, really nice. John Mancada, hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us here. Stephen Coffey, hello. Welcome. Ainsley, thank you for the super chat. I'm late, but I'm here. Ainsley, I am late to answer your super chat. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Renee wants to know, is there any problem if my COVID test from a particular doctor has to be from a lab? The only issue, Renee, is number one, it has to be it can't be handwritten. It's got to be a printed with the information. And sometimes they give you a problem if the COVID test doesn't have the CLIA number on it. It's like a lab number. Again, your doctor may have it, but ask them about that. Can you get a printed, not handwritten COVID test result? And it's got to have the CLIA number on there. If the answer is yes to all those, totally fine. What's a must-do on Oasis of the CC? Aqua 80s in the Aqua Theater. It's absolutely amazing. Pepe, thank you again for the super chat. Appreciate it. Stephen wants to know, how do you extend the power outlets in the room? Rather than bring a power strip, which is not allowed, get a USB hub that you plug in. Those are totally fine. And most everything you're plugging in uses USB anyway. So that's definitely my recommendation for you. Let's see. Next question. Jason wants to know, is Sorrento's Pizza really open 24/7? It depends on the depends on the sailing and the cruise, Jason. Not all of them do, but if they are open, if it says in the cruise compass 24 hours, then they're open 24 hours. But not all of them are. Most usually close around, they'll say late night, and they'll close around 3-ish or so in the morning, and then reopen like at 6 for breakfast and whatnot. Ryan G says, if a cruise says only one available interior but has multiple guaranteed interiors, why is that? Essentially, it's the game that Royal Caribbean has, Ryan, with how they sell cabins. Basically through cancellations and a variety of other factors, they work it all in. It's all magic. I don't claim to understand it, but I will tell you that essentially the reason why, even though you can only see one assigned room left, is that the inventory changes more often than you think. And I think that's what their algorithm basically points to, essentially. Acme CTK, how is the internet surf and stream on Odyssey? Great. Top 10. Was there any news on Icon of the Seas? Nothing new to report, my friend. I'm sorry. Yeah, there hasn't, no news to share yet. I'm hoping that'll change. Let's see. Gregory, speaking of the internet from Harmony of the Seas, I know another ship was met, worked pretty well, but streaming is going to be iffy. You know, when it comes to the internet in general, streaming, I mean, number one, I don't know how people like stream that much, right? Number two, one thing I found, Gregory, and this is just my experience, I'm not saying it's yours, but when you, whatever device you're on, whenever a device connects with Wi-Fi, that whether it's iPhone or a computer, a lot of the devices will start doing updates. So one way to help make your internet as fast as possible is make sure it's not doing updates while you're connected. If there's a way to pause updates, like in Windows, you can tell Windows Update, hey, pause updates for like a week. In your iPhone, there may be a similar option as well. I'm not sure, but that's something else. I've a lot of times I've been like sitting there and I'm like, why is this being so slow? Then I realized it's running updates in the background. When we were on Mariner of the Seas, there was one day and I was like, what is going on? And then I realized it was like, boop, Photoshop has been updated. And I'm like, you son of a gun. Like, killing me here. Lori, would you recommend a letter of recovery or just do the proctored EMED test? The EMED test. It's so much easier, less work for you. Honestly, it just couldn't be an easier process. Tom wants to know, when they remove pre-cruise testing, are there any precautionary measures? Will someone clearly sick people to walk on? I don't know the answer to your question. They haven't released the full protocols yet, Tom. So they're going to release more details later this week. Mel Caps is here. Hello, Melanie. Hope you're doing well. Selling on Odyssey next month. What are some must-dos? Melanie, do Zone Zero. When you get on board the ship, connect to the Wi-Fi, get in the app, and book Zone Zero. It's a virtual reality. It costs extra. Melanie, I'm telling you, you'll thank me later. It's amazing. Really, really incredible stuff. Patricia, does Black Friday have better sales? Not necessarily. I did a video about this last year. It's a mistake. Here's what I'm going to say. It is a mistake to sit here and say, I want a drink package, excursion, Wi-Fi. I'm going to wait to book till Black Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a mistake. You possibly will end up spending more money. Your better bet, no matter what you want to book before the cruise, book it now. Everything in that cruise planner is fully refundable. So book it now. If there is a better price on Black Friday or next Tuesday, you're covered. You can cancel and rebook. There's no risk involved. So do not wait is what I'm trying to say there. John Wilson, I'm unvaxxed, 62 years of age. If I have AFib and subject to blood clots, if I test negative, can I cruise? Right now, Royal Caribbean hasn't released the new details about the unvaccination program. We're going to get more details later this week. So the answer is I don't know the answer to your question. I would also ask you, I would think, honestly, you should be talking to your doctor about if it's safe for you to go. But if he or she gives you the go-ahead, then really the question is just a matter of, my understanding is there'll be no more permission, if you will. You don't have to apply for it. But again, we'll get more information, John, later this week, and I'll have that information at royalcaribbeanblog.com when it does come out. Well, Gregory, don't forget. Gregory says, I wouldn't have high hopes for internet with Royal Caribbean. 2,000 to 5,000 passengers on a satellite going to be crowded. Don't forget, not everyone buys the internet. And a lot of people don't buy the internet. They're really cheap. Number two, not everyone's using the internet at the same time. Number three, not everyone's most people are just checking Facebook. They're not everyone's uploading videos and torrenting and doing all those kinds of things. I mean, you're right. The internet is not going to be like at home. It's not. So you're 100% right on that. But on some ships, it actually performs pretty darn well, I've got to say. Let me get a drink of water here. Why do I like Odyssey so much? Latest and greatest, Enzo. It's got some of the nicest new features on board. It's, in short, it's hard to go wrong with a brand new cruise ship. Whether you're talking about Zone Zero, the dining, the entertainment, it's some of the best Royal Caribbean has in the fleet right now. When it comes to new ships, yeah. Bobby, I can tell you from experience, CVS is totally fine. I've done CVS tests many times. Don't worry about that. CVS is, I don't know why they don't have a clear number on there, but I can tell you from experience that there's no issues with the CVS test. So, yep. Virginia wants to know, is the Royal Refresher package worth it? Depends if you drink enough every day to make it worthwhile. It can be. So, yep. Good tea, nice house. Thank you for the super chat. Allure refurbished. Any news? No news to share. Last I heard, Royal Caribbean still intends to do the upgrades, but they haven't announced a timetable for that at all. So, yeah. We have another super chat coming in from Saxa 500. So the price drops don't apply after final payment date. Defeats the purpose of booking in advance. Are we talking about drink packages? Like pre-cruise purchases, Saxa? Like drink package, Wi-Fi, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can reprice even after final payment. Like you do that all the way up to 48 hours before your cruise. If you're talking about the price of your cruise fare, yes, that is correct. But you're saying that the purpose of booking in advance? No, because usually the price of booking in advance is cheaper than booking at the last minute. Not to mention the cabin selection is better booking much early than at the last minute. So no, I disagree with yours. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, quite frankly. If you're talking about cruise fare, I disagree. And if you're talking about cruise add-ons, you can absolutely still reprice them after final payment. Hope that makes sense. And thank you for the super chat. And on that note, guys, I'll answer one more question. Oh, it's cruise price. Yes, stand by what I said earlier. You're going to have a much better room selection, Shaksa, and your odds are, generally speaking, the best prices are still when you book it way in advance. So, all right, one more question here, and it is from Kimberly. Alert in 26 days. Any tips on what meal to eat at Coastal Kitchen? Dinner the night they have steak. Go up there and say, hey, what night do you guys have is steak night? They have the filet. That is the night to eat at Coastal Kitchen for dinner. On that note, I'm going to thank you, everybody, for stopping by and saying hello here. Thank you all so much for your generosity and your support. We're live every Monday. If I didn't get to your question, I don't want to get to all of them, far from it. Feel free to go post your question over on our message boards over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We have another super chat coming in at the last minute. Danny DiMatteo. Thank you, Danny, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you, sir. Before we go, I'm going to say some thank yous to our super chatters today, like Danny. Danny, thank you. Saxa, thank you. Good Tea, thank you. Pepe, thank you. Ainsley, thank you. Juliana, thank you. AD, thank you. Steven, thank you. Quack, thank you. Darren, thank you. D Money, thank you. Carter, thank you. Jay, thank you. Tony, thank you. Aaron, thank you. Gregory, thank you. Monique, thank you. Good Tea again, thank you. Carrie B, thank you. Pepe, thank you. Latino, thank you. Kathy Cradle, thank you. Susan, thank you. North Florida Wanderers, thank you. Andrew, thank you. Ronnie, thank you. Marcelo, thank you. Iad, thank you. Betty, thank you so much. Richard, thank you. Josie, thank you. Motunga, thank you. Lavender Lady, thank you. Lulu's, thank you. CMT Beats, thank you. Aaron, thank you. Lavender Lady again, thank you. Sorry, I got choked up there with that super chat. Susan, thank you. CMT again, thank you. Michael, thank you. Sharon Stockman, thank you. Thank you very much, Sharon. I really appreciate it. Jeff, thank you. Aaron, again, thank you. Kevin, thank you. Mom and me, thank you. Camille, thank you. Josh Crothers, thank you. And Kayla, thank you for starting us off even before the broadcast. Really appreciate it. Love you guys so much. Oh, look at that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. That's important as well. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Good night, everybody.